Wilson hasn't had a contract offer by the Steelers, at least not one reported. Aaron Rodgers has. The Steelers, they wanted to go after Sam Darnold. They didn't get him. Darnold now to the Seahawks. So, James, the question is very simple. Do the Steelers need Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, they need Aaron Rodgers. You just traded for DK Metcalf. You got George Pickens over there. You got Freiermuth, who's a really good tight end. You need a dude that can spin the ball and get the ball to these guys. And you got to beef up this offensive line. But they need Aaron Rodgers. But my question is, was Russ that bad on tape?
Toward the end of the year, yes.
Because they just really just said, Russ, you out of the whole situation. You know, Justin Fields, we were talking to you, and you gone, and now we just ain't even talking to Russ. That's crazy to me. But Aaron Rodgers, I believe, makes the Steelers a really good offense. I do. You have really good skill positions on the side, I think. George Pickens and DK Metcalf, they are going to be a very good combination with each other with Freiermuth. Get a running game, beef up that O-line. But they need Aaron Rodgers if you are going to compete not only in the division, but in the AFC when you talk about the Patties and the Joe Burrows and the Lamar.
They need Aaron Rodgers because, if I can say it bluntly, Mike Tomlin has not proven he can draft or develop a quarterback. So you need a quarterback that's already been developed. Where I'm confused is Aaron Rodgers had a better running game with the Jets, with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. He had a better receiving core with the Jets, with Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. And there was a better offensive line with the Jets. And that offensive line wasn't even that good, but you still had the Morgan Moseses, the Tyron Smiths, amongst others. So if Aaron Rodgers had all those pieces with the Jets offense and a better defense, at least you could say equal defense, because the Steelers' defense completely fell off. If Aaron Rodgers had all of that with the Jets and still collectively they only mustered up 5 wins, what do you suppose you will be able to do in the Steelers with a much more competent division? Because Lamar Jackson's still there, Joe Burrow and company, they still there, and Kevin Stefanski can still coach. So, yes, I think the Steelers need Aaron Rodgers, but they only need Aaron Rodgers because Mike Tomlin hasn't worked on his weaknesses.
I know you want to always, when we talk Aaron, you want to strictly go to team. But the Jets team ain't coming to Pittsburgh. Aaron's coming to Pittsburgh. You're getting almost a 4,000-yard passer and 28 touchdowns. You know, if Aaron Rodgers was young like Sam Darnold, we'd be talking about him getting $130 million. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, the Aaron Rodgers is coming with what he did on the football field last year. If he can bring what he did on the football field last year, and we expect the defense to play like they played when Justin Fields was in the game, the Steelers is going to be a pretty good football team with that and DK.
It is what it is, James. I mean, I can't take you back from what he did. He only won 5 games. So
he balled, though.
Whatever you're trying to say, and I hear you, that's your boy. I get it. You guys share some time together on the field. I understand. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters is they don't need Aaron Rodgers. They are because they have Russ. You got Russ right there. If you really watch the tape and watch the games, the second half of the season, the defense played poorly. Everybody was having a piece of that. Everybody. Pass around. It's your turn, my turn. It's passing around. Everybody was balling against the Steelers defense, which we never used to seeing. Another thing is the running game, non-existent. Najee Harris, I mean, let's be honest here, he didn't play well. The offensive line was terrible, and Russ was still finding ways to make some plays. So when you talk about, like, the Steelers being bad, a lot of that wasn't Russ's fault. The traditional defense.
I agree with that.
I went to school in Pittsburgh, so I'm all used to that type of defense, right? Even at their worst, you're not about to put a lot of points up on the Steelers, no matter how bad they are in the season. And last year, you seen everybody going up and down the field on that defense.
But they're not going that
All I'm saying is James Jones, Russ is in the building. You don't have to go nowhere else. And then listen, if you want a good quarterback, because my thing is, like, what do you really want? Because if you're chasing Aaron Rodgers, but you were still chasing Justin Fields a couple days ago.
And that's a good question.
Too.
So it's like, what are you really trying to get accomplished?
That's what I'm saying. You chasing all them quarterbacks and not Russ. That's what I'm trying to
I don't understand.
I don't get that either.
Me neither.
Hey, I told y'all guys, man. It's the year of the BBs.
What's that again?
BBs? No.
Back up to the bums.
No.
Back up to the bums.
Yeah, Steelers need Aaron Rodgers. Need is a very strong word. I believe the market has dictated that's what the Steelers have to do. And quite honestly, the price just went up. Because what else are you going to do at quarterback? Quarterback-needy teams, Giants, Vikings, Steelers. Okay, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson were the last ones to sign. Aaron Rodgers is wanted by all 3 of those teams. So you better go ahead and get it done right away because the price is just going to continue to go up. Look, aside from the headaches and the media attention, right, wrong, and different that he brings, I do feel he could be successful in that offense. The one thing I'm worried about is that offensive line. Like when you have a guy like DK Metcalf and a guy like George Pickens physically on the field, those are two pretty good options, James Jones, right?
Really good.
And I go back to what you were saying, right? Like they haven't figured out the quarterback situation since Ben Roethlisberger's been there. But it's just like, this might be a one-year Band-Aid to see what we get, see what we have in the draft. My thing is like, what happens off the field? Because we saw last year Aaron Rodgers call out Mike Williams for not running the red line. Okay, Mike Williams is very, very quiet guy. Like, just doesn't cause trouble.
You played with him, correct?
I play with him. The great dude, okay? What happens if DK Metcalf and George Pickens, who are very outspoken, what happens if Aaron Rodgers calls them out or goes like this or after a wrong route?
That's a good point.
What happens if they're in the huddle and be like, you know, are you?
They're not taking that.
They're not taking that.
They're not playing them games.
And same with Rodgers. It's like, I feel like you sort of got to walk around that, because that matters, not just to play on the field, but how you interact with diva
Can I go
receivers.
as far as to say, and James, please correct me if I'm wrong, but on the outside looking in, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has played with any receiver as
outspoken,
physically outspoken, verbally outspoken, temperamentally outspoken, emotionally outspoken. You might say Greg and Drive, maybe J-Mike, but not young J-Mike.
Like
I don't think Aaron Rodgers has ever played with like a DK or a GP. Like, because DK 7 years in the league now, so he ain't taking no.
Can I answer this one?
Go ahead.
So I think it's a respect of who the player is, though.
There it is.
I don't know if y'all play with certain players like
I don't
Aaron
think
Rodgers.
Pickens could care less.
I doubt that.
I don't think he could.
We all think Antonio Brown's kind of crazy, right? Kind of wild.
Yeah.
But different, though, wouldn't you say?
I mean, are they? AB gets wow. Piss him off. I'll say this. There's times where maybe play didn't go his way and Brady might say something to him. The respect part, I ain't going to check you the certain way, man. Let's let one of them other dudes say something. He going to check them. I do think that DK...
He left the field doing jumping jacks, though, Shady. He left the field.
And that was the time.
Yeah, but we talking about if things don't go your way, if you're going to say something back to...
Yeah.
Because my thing is, if Aaron says something to you, right, a certain way you might not like, and you explode, now it's a bigger thing for the team, because now... Oh, well, dang. Well, George and DK said something, so anybody can say something.
So number one, Aaron's a great teammate. So he'll build a relationship with them dudes inside the locker room. He is. I mean, I played with him. He's a great teammate. Not only that, it's not going to happen every play. Aaron is going to spin this ball to you. So it may be one of them times, be where you're supposed to be. Do we play football or tennis? You know, because last time I checked, we play football, right? It's okay to get on your teammates and all that type of stuff.
It's gonna matter.
But you guys are saying it matter like it's gonna happen every time. It's not gonna happen every time. They're gonna be all right.
A lot of changes in the craziest week of the NFL. Runner for the starting job ahead of top 5 overall pick just 2 years ago in Anthony Richardson. I can't say that I am shocked by this news, because if I'm being completely honest, Anthony Richardson has never been a good quarterback on the football field, not even in college. So Anthony Richardson in the pros has not been a good quarterback. Anthony Richardson in college, he wasn't a good quarterback. He got drafted in top 5 because he had a 40-inch vert. He ran a 4.4. He was 6'4", 240 pounds, and that is why he got drafted. He did not get drafted because of his proficient play at the quarterback position in collegiately at Florida, nor has he played proficiently at the quarterback position for the Colts. Now, Daniel Jones has not been a good quarterback either. Right. So the Colts appear to be in quarterback purgatory, because you got one bad former first-round pick and you got another bad former top 5 overall pick. So currently in the quarterback room, you just got bad quarterback play. So my reaction, though not surprised for Colts fans, I'm a little sober-minded, because it does not look good, 2-5. It does not look good.
I'm blown away. Like, and I thought that I was surprised and shocked, but I guess it just keeps happening, right? I mean, for God's sakes, Daniel Jones is... Come on, bro. Are we serious here? This is the year of the BB.
What, the BB?
Was it what, the BB?
The bums and the backups. Seriously, like, if you'd have told me that Daniel Jones would be
respect on his name a little bit.
Respect where? Why?
A bum?
What? Okay. Is he good, Chase?
What? What's up?
Is he good?
He act like he can't hear.
I swear to you, Coleman was in my ear.
I swear. No,
he's not. He did lead the Giants to the playoffs.
I'm done laughing. Because now it's like there's a lot of players that should be having opportunities they can't get them now, because they're giving these guys opportunities. Imagine being on the Colts roster, and we trying to get this thing around. Now, Jonathan Taylor is one of my friends, one of my young boys. I can't wait to text him. Hey, man, are you excited about Daniel Jones coming to your team? What you think he gonna say back? I ain't gonna tell y'all.
More excited than Richardson.
Why?
I already spelled it out.
This is my thing about Richardson, though. Give the kid a chance to develop.
They have.
As bad as Daniel Jones has been in New York, right?
Yeah.
My family's from New York, so they Giants fans for real. We watched him, and he's been bad. He had one solid year, and that year wasn't even that good, if you want to be honest.
Right.
And they gave him chance after chance after chance. When you drafted Anthony Richardson, you knew he was a project. You took him 4th pick overall. And all the things you said about him in college, it's probably true. So you knew take him at number 4 that he is a project. Okay, cool. Let that project work. It takes some time. If we'd Josh Allen, I played with Buffalo. And his rookie year, he wasn't really that good. You seen talent, you seen flashes. If they never gave him a chance to develop, we might even be here for Josh Allen. And I'm not saying they're the same dude. I'm just saying give him a chance to develop. And to give a shot like Daniel Jones another chance is crazy. Because now, if I'm a player on your team, what am I excited about the season for? Mm-hmm. I'm being serious here, though. Like, if I'm on a team and I'm like, okay, we're not in a tough division. Our probably the biggest opponent is probably the Texans, right? How can we get to the playoffs? And then we sign Daniel Jones. Am I excited? This is a crazy day. I don't know for y'all. Daniel Jones is about to start. Sam Darnold is a franchise guy now. And Justin Fields is a starter. And y'all looking at me like, wow, I'm tripping.
How does that make you feel?
It's a crazy world. And you know what it is? Only in America that anything is possible. You can be bad for years at the bottom of the NFL level, and then eventually you get your shot again and again and again. I keep seeing it over and over again. So now when I tell the quarterbacks, hey, look, dog, we talking about Caleb Williams. We should never even have a issue with Caleb Williams if he plays bad this year. Yeah. Because we seeing dudes that's worse than him get opportunities to be a starter. It's embarrassing to the NFL.
For me, though, and we can feel however we want to feel about Anthony Richardson, but for me, like, it's hard for me to, like, think, like, what these GMs is thinking up there.
Come on, James.
And I'm just being honest. Whatever y'all want to say about Aaron Rodgers' distraction, whatever it is, right? Russell Wilson, whatever you want to say, both them dudes better than Daniel Jones. So my thing is, if you want a quarterback and you need to get a quarterback for 1 year, why are you going to Daniel Jones? Number 2, the last time we seen Daniel Jones play the game of football, he looked worse than Anthony Richardson. And that's just keeping it a buck. Whatever we want to say about Anthony Richardson, he looked worse with the Giants. They put Tommy DeVito in the game.
DeVito.
You understand what I'm saying? And we're sitting here giving him $14 million contract for 1 year, worth $17 million, saying that he should just walk in and be the day one starter instead of saying the kid that we drafted first round, whether we think he good or not, this dude ain't showed us he good. So why not either give him a chance or bring somebody into the building that we know can still play the game? Russ showed you he still can play this game. Aaron showed you he still can play this game. Record-wise or whatever with their team, they showed you individually that they still could play. I don't understand what GMs are thinking right now. I really don't. When you sit up there and you say, hey, man, we need a plan at quarterback to compete with Anthony Richardson. Bing! Daniel Jones, because we seen it. You understand? No. I'm being serious, though.
Bing!
I'm being serious as GMs. Like, that's hard for me to understand. And I'm not saying a player that has a bad year can't have a good year. I'm not saying that. But Daniel Jones has multiple years of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he has not played better than Anthony Richardson. But I just don't understand
You can't go into the season, and Chase, you know this, with Anthony Richardson as your exclusive starter.
And that's cool, but get a dude that, like a Russ and Aaron, that can play.
Yeah,
but you think this is not exciting
You say
to
that,
me.
but so do you think it's okay?
Yeah, you're right. You can't go with
a few observations
that's a good point.
for me that stand out. One, when you give a guy a $14 million deal up to $17 million in incentives, you're the starter.
Terrible.
Like, when you're giving Daniel Jones that money, first, I just want to make sure everyone, it doesn't seem, they're going to say compete. But if Daniel Jones is even an inkling better than Anthony Richardson, he will start. The second one, it's a head scratcher for me.
Oh, well.
It should be.
No, it is. It is because a few reasons. Number one, the Colts and Chris Ballard, great dude, was with them in KC. He's the GM now in Indianapolis. They've had multiple experiences with multiple veteran backups through his tenure there. Carson Wentz, remember that? Mm-hmm. Phillip Rivers, remember that?
Yes,
Joe Flacco, remember that? Matt Ryan, remember that? Okay, now Daniel Jones, remember that? 5 guys that the Colts have signed trying to fix this quarterback problem that's been left since Andrew Luck abruptly retired. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what this is screaming to me. And then you pick Daniel Jones. I'm actually okay with picking Daniel Jones if he's got a $6 million deal.
Okay.
I'm completely fine with that.
$3 million, yeah.
No doubt.
$6-7 million, sure. The other thing it tells me is Daniel Jones must have had a market in Vikings because you don't get this type of money negotiating against yourself. But there are guys out there like Rodgers. There are guys out there like Russell Wilson. There are guys out there like Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota that at least, like Marcus Mariota played really well in some games last year for the Washington Commanders. He ain't going to cost $14 million. Like that's the thing that's a head scratcher to me.
Are better than Daniel Jones.
Not the fact that he signed, it's what he signed for. And so that to me is like, man, not only your experience with veterans that have not worked, because Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, Joe Flacco, now it's Daniel Jones. I just don't know how much sustained success you can have like this. Quite honestly, you can't have any.
You mentioned the name Aaron Rodgers. We got to talk about it after the break. It sounds like Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers might be happening. We got to weigh in. Do the Steelers need Aaron Rodgers? What about Russell Wilson, Justin Fields? He's gone now. So much going on in the NFL world. We got you all covered.